Hey everybody, let's talk about Anhur. Anhur is a ranged physical attack god. His basic attacks do a lot of damage, I think among the highest range damage in the game right now. Although he could be preempted by a newer god that I'm not aware of. But let's take a look at his abilities. His passive is Enfeeble. His spear attacks reduce your enemy's physical protections by 15 for 3 seconds, which isn't bad at all. That's a nice little debuff to have. His number one is Shifting Sands. It generates a small wall, an obelisk, think the ones in Egypt or the Washington Monument, surrounded by a sand field, a circular field of sand, a circular beach, if you will. The obelisk can be used to make it harder to traverse small passages in the jungle, although you can't really use it to wall things off like you can with Thor or Ymir. The sand will slow and also applies a damage buff to Anhur for anyone standing in it. So the slow ranges from 15 all the way up to 35, so it's a very nice buff. And the damage buff goes all the way up to 20%. This is useful in a number of situations. Even if you're going against minions, let's say you're going after the Fire Giant or Gold Fury, you can put the obelisk up behind them and take advantage of the damage buff, if nothing else, since they're immune to stuns and slows. You can also use the obelisk itself in conjunction with his number 2, Impale, to stun enemies as a portable wall, as it were. I think that's about it for number 1. Speaking of his number 2, Impale, this is probably what you would want to level up first. You know, if I would call something his signature ability, it would probably be this. It's a skill shot, as most of his, or a lot of his stuff is. It will knock enemies back, and if you knock an enemy god back into a wall, including the obelisk, or Ymir's wall, or Thor's wall, then they will be stunned for up to 1.5 seconds, which is really nice. It's a good initiation. So it also travels through enemy minions, so you can use it to do damage to an entire minion wave, which makes it nice for pushing the lane. And I think that's about it. Does 350 damage plus 80% of your physical power at maximum level. Disperse is his jump. He jumps to a target location, doing damage and knocking back, quote unquote, any enemies in a radius. Now, when they say knocking back, they knock them away. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that if you jump over an enemy and you're behind them, it'll actually knock them back the way you came, which is useful for a little extra crowd control. I think this is a relatively slow animation, so he's kind of a slow jumper, but it's good mobility nevertheless. So I would probably put a level into this and then save this for last. It's not as useful as, let's say, Bastet's jump, but, you know, it's not bad. And you can prevent people from getting away by jumping behind them if you can do so. His ultimate is Desert Fury, which is more skill shots. So it does 8 spear shots. Each spear shot, or each spear... yeah, let's call it a spear shot. Does 160 damage plus 15% of your maximum, or I'm sorry, 15% of your physical power at maximum level. So you compare that to Impale. So Impale is, if you're comparing maximum to maximum, is between 2 and 3. Let's say just over 2. No, let's say a little bit more than that. So let's say around 3 ult strikes. So if you multiply your ult out times 8, if you hit all 8, that's your damage you'd be doing. So this is very useful to finish somebody off. It's also very useful if the enemy is stunned, since it is a skill shot. I also believe Anhur is immune to crowd control for the duration, which is nice, so your ult is not interruptible. I think it used to be, which was kind of annoying. But if you can impale somebody and then unload upon them with the ult, impale and stun, I should say. So you stun somebody with your impale and then unload upon them with Desert Fury. That's a good combo right there. So let's see what the recommendation is. Items. There we go. So the usual nonsense. I probably would not necessarily get either of these for Anhur. You know, maybe Sprint. Probably not Meditation. You might want to get the Girdle of Might that's the inner one, or something of that nature, depending on the game you're playing. Death Stool's probably a good idea, as are the boots. You could get crit. I think he does a lot. He does good with physical power, considering that your impale is 80%, and I guess that's pretty much it. So he gets good attack speed late game as well. Certainly your standard physical items are good. And he has a number of good skins. I don't happen to have any of them. He has the Olympic skin, which is pretty cool. I like that. And then there was some conjecture. You can kind of see that the number on his shirt was the date that Smite was going to come out of beta, which obviously is not the case. That would be, what, October 2nd? No, I'm sorry. I can't see it because the stupid spears in the way, but it's like a date in 2013. And he has the gold skin. I thought he had a green one. There's the green one. So he has this, the Jungle King, and then the gold and legendary skin. And I do have him mastered, so I have him at level 1. I like him. He requires a decent amount of finesse to play well, to stun your enemies. He has a lot of skill shots, stuff like that. So that can be a challenge. If you have a low latency connection, that certainly helps. If you have opponents that aren't especially mobile, that helps. If you have other people that can help you with your stuns, that helps as well. So sometimes I find him a challenge, but recently I've been doing pretty well with Anhur, I think. So anyway, let's get to the game. Thank you. Hey everybody, welcome to Smite. We're doing some 3v3 Joust, and Ymir is quite a bit larger than Anhur when you look up close. That's kind of odd. So we're doing some 3v3. It's going to be Anhur, Ymir, and Ao Kuang versus Mercury, Cupid, and Kronos. So it should be pretty interesting. Get one of all my abilities. So we do have a good tank.
Good luck. Thanks.
We do have a good tank in Ymir, so I'll be going probably fairly damaging. And off we go. So Anhur is a ranged physical attack. Has good crowd control for a non-tanky god. His number 1 will slow and give him a bonus. His number 2 will push people back, and if you hit them into a wall, then they will be stunned. And his number 3 is a jump, which knocks people up and back. He also has a very nice laugh. I like Anhur's laugh a lot. It's like the ho 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 ho. So I don't see anybody here. I'll get that for Al, and I guess get damage for myself.
Thanks.
And let's head back. So I'm assuming they're getting the other buffs on the other side.
Let's go.
Oh, I got myself walled off by Ymir. Did you see that? I was moving to engage Kronos, and I ended up on the other side of Ymir's wall. That was kind of funny. It's a good poke by Ao. I don't think he got anybody, though. Did I miss him? I guess I did. I thought I would have gotten Mercury. Not really the one I wanted to get, but he was the closest one.
Retreat. Retreat!
Oh, so close to Cupid.
Awesome!
That Ao Kuang dot.
An enemy has been slain. Return to base. First blood.
If I can get Anhur and Ymir work really well, because Ymir's freeze makes it easy for a mediocre Anhur, which would be me, to hit. After Ao Kuang goes back, I think I will come back.
Return to me. Return to me. Be right back.
Alright,
I'll defend. Good
so going back. Let's finish these out. Right, what did I get? I don't want that. Can I sell this? Get that. I want the physical penetration. Alright, off we go. So Anhur's basic attacks do quite a lot of damage.
Ultimate is ready. Okay.
We will end this now, you and I.
Attack. Wait. Ultimate is ready.
Not quite sure what that Mercury just did. It looked like he did an ability right into the wall, which was kind of weird.
Enemy missing middle. Enemies have returned to middle. A mighty storm.
Very nice. Ao Kuang on the minions. Alright. Got Kronos. Ymir would have killed him anyway.
Has been slain. Nice job.
If Ymir can initiate on this guy, that would be cool.
Retreat.
Alright, so I'm going to retreat through the jungle.
Be careful.
Beware the shifting sands.
Ah, missed.
Return to base. Be careful, middle.
Beware the shifting sands.
Tried to scrape him off at Ymir. What's he doing crossing in front of me?
Be right back.
Well, we got Ymir out. That's good.
Beware the shifting
Put that up to kind of delay him a little bit. Anhur does additional damage with people standing in his sand.
Ultimate is ready.
Uh-oh, Ao Kuang's getting frosty there.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Double kill. An ally has been slain.
Those jukes. Getting juked by Mercury all day. I don't want to stay out here too long.
Be right back.
Got good money. So I'm going to get Executioner. I'll be powering Anhur's basic attack up primarily. So that seems like a good thing to get. And let's just go. I know I have a lot of money,
Careful, middle.
but that'll allow me to get like Deathbringer or something like that.
Beware the shifting sands. The sands.
Oh, I jumped on Cupid. Look at that. Can't believe Mercury got away again. Did I get him? I did get him.
An enemy has been slain.
Look at my attack speed now with just the what do you call it? What did I buy? Executioner, with just the Executioner.
Okay.
They're
We will end this
toying with Ymir.
and I.
Get out of here, Cupid. Cupid's kind of squishy.
Enemies have returned to middle. Okay. I'll defend. Your middle tower is under attack. Be right back.
I'm gonna go back. Let me kill these guys. The heck am I doing? My ult just came up. So, power... What do I want? What do I want? Bloodforge, that'll give me some nice lifesteal. Let's get that. Off we go. I'm thinking I'll try for red. Maybe. I have my ult and such. So they're occupied middle.
Attack!
Oh, boo. Ouch. Yeah, I was going to jump in on top of Mercury, and he got the jump on me, and I ulted on him. Oh, you can get him. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Thanks. He got the jump on me, so I ulted on him, but then Cupid came up from the side, and I just couldn't take that much damage. However, I should have enough for this. Off I go. Waste of a red buff, unfortunately. Yeah, Ao Kuang's doing really well.
I'll defend. Be right back.
We will end this now, you and I.
Enemy missing middle.
Wonder where they are. See how much damage his basic attacks do. It's quite nice.
Attack!
Can we get Cronus? We can get Cronus. Watch out. Watch out. Get away from me. Cronus is squishy too.
An enemy has been slain.
That dot, that Ao Kuang dot. You're in my way, man.
An enemy has been slain. Awesome. Good game.
Okay. I guess we'll keep that. I haven't done a lot of 3 versus 3s, and while I made some mistakes this game, I think it was well played. So, do a GG. And let's see. So, how'd we do? So our Ao Kuang's apologizing to the other team. So I went 3-1. Ao Kuang went 7-1. Very nice, very nice. And Ymir went 1-0, which is great for a tank. Let's see. Cupid and Kronos got fed on. Mercury did okay. So anyway, this has been Hale doing some Anhur.